All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to UFC Florida, co-main event in the strawweight division. Claudia Gadelha coming in 17-4, taking on Angela Hill coming in 12-8. Now this was a close fight, very controversial decision. After I got done making my Barella versus Casey fight review video, I was like, man, I'm tired. I better just watch this fight again tomorrow and come back to it and really absorb it. So that's what I did. I went to sleep, got up, watched the fight again, finally getting around to making the video. So first round, I thought it was fairly even on the feet. However, Gadelha took over with that takedown in the second half of the round, and she had a minute and 10 of combined side control and knee on belly before Angela was able to get up and out of there. So first round definitely went to Gadelha. Second round, big knockdown by Hill at the minute and 10-second mark. And then Hill found the home for a lot of her hooks. It's weird because her coaches told her between the first and second round to go for more straight shots, but then in the second round it was the hooks that were really finding their mark. And then there was 2 failed takedown attempts by Gadelha. So second round, clearly Hill. Third round is where things get dicey. Okay, it was the deciding round of the fight. Okay, on my notes here, I have a big low kick by Gadelha that visibly hurt Hill. Hill seemingly landed more in volume, but Gadelha was landing the bigger counter punches. And Gadelha had the forward momentum. And finally, Gadelha seemingly turned it up more at the end. Okay, so went to the judges. Judges awarded the split decision to Claudia Gadelha, 29-28 times 2, and then 29-28 for Angela Hill. So very close fight. Upon the first time I watched it, I was like, well, it probably looks like Hill's going to win it, but it was close. Upon rewatching it, I'm leaning more towards Gadelha. I picked Gadelha to win it, but a part of me also wanted Hill to win, so it really didn't matter to me who won. Apparently, though, it did matter to a lot of people. There's a lot of butthurt all over the internet, all over MMA forums and social media over this decision. A lot of people really emotional about this. A lot of people screaming robbery. Okay? It wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight. That's why it went split. Okay? And then I've also seen a lot of people throwing shade and trashing Gadelha. Look, trashing the fighter you think should have lost doesn't help your fighter look better, okay? If you're calling Gadelha overrated and overhyped, well then what are you really saying about Angela Hill, who you think should have won? If Gadelha was overhyped and overrated, what does that say about the fighter who couldn't convince 2 judges that she won the fight? Stop being so emotional. Go back, watch the fight again with a little bit less emotions involved. It's just a fight. It really shouldn't be that emotional to you. Angela Hill, okay, she has a right to be pissed. She lost. She thought she won. But I don't see the reason for so many fans to be getting all up in their emotions over this. And then finally on my notes, I have Hill came a long way, but just not quite ready for those deep waters, deep in the top 10. Gadelha is currently ranked number 6. If they fix the rankings, she'd actually be ranked even higher. Hill doing good against his unranked fighters, but still struggling against the ranked fighters. All right, so things to work on. For Gadelha, the cardio still isn't there. It looked better this time. She went in more into the second round before running out of gas. But her cardio is still not the top level it needs to be. Also put, she seems to have the tools to win the fights, but she is just not having an easy time putting them together. She's working out there with Mark Henry out in New Jersey now. Still taking some time to get used to that, because that guy uses a lot of code words and everything, and that can take some getting used to. So it seems like she's always had the skills, but now it seems like she's having a hard time putting them together. Also had, she was in there against a fighter who relies a lot on her footwork. Gadelha should have been throwing way more low kicks to try to slow Hill down. That low kick she threw in the third round really took Hill off balance, really rattled her. She should have thrown more leg kicks throughout the whole fight. It would have slowed Hill down. And then finally, what happened to Gadelha's takedowns? She used to be a very strong grappler, have very strong takedowns. She's one of the only fighters who could get a good takedown on Joanna Jędrzejczyk. What happened to her takedowns? As for Hill, where was her striking arsenal at? Looks like she just seemed way too content to throw nothing but punches. Where were the elbows? Where were the knees? Where were the kicks? She threw a couple high kick attempts at the end of the third round. Way too little, way too late. Where was the multi-dimensional striking? Just, again, too content with her boxing, didn't use all of her tools. I thought she should have turned it up at the end more as well. She seemed too content to coast at that point. Too content to coast in the point fight. Also, she leaned in way too much on her punching, which left her open for big counters from Gadelha, especially in the third. She was leaning in way too much. She had the reach advantage, she had the length. Why wasn't she using it as much? And then finally, for Hill, leave everything out there. Stop being content with the point fighting. And hey, if you have enough energy to throw a tantrum at the decision, you had enough energy to use more in the fight. So, yeah, leave it all out there. They always say don't leave it in the hands of the judges. You can't always do that. But what you can do is leave it all out there. I don't feel that she did this time. And honestly, I'm disappointed in Angela Hill because, like I said, I kind of wanted her to win. Anyway, fights to make. For Gadelha, I think the obvious rematch, or obvious fight to make for her is the Esparza rematch. Esparza called her out last weekend. Gadelha says, hey, let's make this rematch. So both of them want it. It's obvious one to make. For Hill, you know, top 10, a little bit too much for her. So let's bring her up the rankings properly now. Put her up against someone in the 11 to 15 range. Amanda Ribas is there. You got the Tisha Torres rematch that I think Hill would actually take this time. And then you got the possible Yan Xiaonan rematch there as well that a lot of people thought was close and that Hill possibly won. So there's 3 good fights for her right there that'll get her within the top 15 because as of right now, she's still unranked as of this recording. So yeah, there's definitely matches to make for both of these fighters. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the fight. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I know there's definitely going to be some for this fight. So let me know them in the comments down below. And hey, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.